You're watching the GameSpot co-op stage, sponsored by LEGO Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
All right, hey everybody, welcome back out to the GameSpot co-op stage here at E3 2016. Hey everybody, I'm Craig from Screw Attack. Joining us right now, it's Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
Austin Creed, yeah!
From Up, Up, Down, Down.
Up, Up, Down, Down, it's my YouTube channel. Go subscribe, check it out if you haven't already. It's fantastic.
You are phenomenal at promoting. It's outstanding, and I love it.
I learned from Greg Miller on this stage last year, actually.
That's extremely unfortunate. I hate Greg Miller. No.
A seething, passionate rage.
And of course we have Danny, who was our anchor today.
Sure, you're the anchor, man.
No.
I'm the drunk Irish guy on the ship while you're holding.
We should
the
get some
anchor.
shots. We should do them right now. This is great.
I'm very impressed if you're drunk right now. You don't look at it at all.
I'm not. I'm actually dry for like months.
Really?
Yeah.
Outstanding.
2.5 months.
Good for you. That's great.
I get married in July, so I said I'm not going to drink until then, and then I'm going to drink a lot.
But that might backfire. You might forget your wedding day.
I know. I might turn back in Ireland and then start drinking with my brother, and I'll be out by like 2 pints.
Well, let's talk about something that makes you feel like you're drunk while you're playing it. Let's talk about VR, right? Virtual reality. It's all the rage here at E3. We have our whiteboards out because we're going to do a little bit of ranking of our excitement. I'm going to name off a few games. You guys can name off some games as well. And I'll join in too if you guys have some stuff. So we're going to rank our excitement based on just general levels. Once again, rankings to me personally are fairly arbitrary. They don't mean a whole lot. They can be 1 through 10. It's all about the substance of what you're talking about.
Or
it can be 1 through 10. It can be a smiley face. It can be mashed potatoes. It doesn't matter. Just whatever you want to rank it, right? So let's talk about some games. So we're going to start talking about Sony VR specifically.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Sony VR, they said October 13th is when it's coming. So fourth quarter this year, just a few months away. It's exciting. Right before Halloween. It's good stuff. And there's going to be, they said, 50 games between launch and the end of the year. Jesus. Does that excite you?
So many games.
Yeah?
So I'm excited about the PlayStation VR because I've got an HTC Vive at home. And it's like the greatest thing I've ever purchased. And I was like, VR is gonna be cool because I messed with like the Oculus and everything. But Oculus at the time, like no controller, so you're just like watching videos.
Right.
But the Vive, I finished this dungeon crawler and I'm legit in my house and I'm having a party with my friends. And we're like falling over the couch and everything because we're like trying to fight ogres and blocking swords and stuff. And so the fact that we'll get to have that on PlayStation as well, I don't know how I'm gonna just sit with a regular controller anymore after experiencing this because it's too good.
So have you had like friends over? Because do you have like Vive parties?
Yes, I legit had one 2 weeks ago.
So what's it like when like do you have any friends who just like do not play games?
Yes.
So what's it like when they put it on?
So we put them into what's the audio shield. So it's like a dancing DDR type rhythm type game. And so you hold an orange shield and a blue shield, orange bubbles come at you, blue bubbles come at you, just block them to the music. And so she's literally like doesn't play games at all. And we put the headset on her, she's like, oh, I like that Rihanna Work song. And so we found the remix, and so like it's the speakers in my house are playing whack, 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 and she's getting into it like, oh, video games are sweet. And so it might be a good way to bring people into games that don't necessarily play games.
Yeah, sounds like a good workout.
There you go.
Well, so here's the thing, right? We have a poll up right now. If you're once again, if you're watching on the Screw Attack YouTube channel, there we are. If you're watching on the Screw Attack YouTube channel, we have a poll right now, and the poll is very simply, VR is ... The options are the future of gaming.
Okay.
A nice addition to the gaming market, something I may check out later, or the new 3D TV, which I think we all know how the 3D TV ended up, right? So I'll let you guys make your decisions on that, and if you want to make your decision, you can as well. Just vote in the corner, hit the little the I button in the corner up there, and we'll get you going. Yes, Austin, Xavier, what do you think VR is?
A gift from the gods.
Wow.
It has come from the heavens above, and they have graced us with virtual reality.
As you just stand there and the VR helmet just slowly comes down on your head?
Dude, it's so good. At one point, there's a game I've got called Fantastic Contraption, and it's almost like, if you played The Incredible Machine back in the day, it's like that. You're just building things to complete objectives, but as people watch, they can say, oh no, put this wheel here, attach this stick there. And like, it's so completely immersive that it's hard to put into words. You just can't explain how good it is until you actually play it, because watching people play it, I don't know, I've done a couple of videos on my channel, Up, Up, Down, Down, go subscribe on YouTube. And it's weird because like I don't get sick watching it, but like I don't feel the same way watching it.
Yeah.
Because like normally if you're playing a game, obviously there's a static screen, you're moving the camera, but VR, your head is constantly moving when you're looking at things in the real world. So in VR, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And so it might not have the same feeling watching them on screen, but when you actually got the headset on, and then you got the headphones on as well, and you're completely immersed in this world, that's what video games are trying to do for us anyways, to completely immerse us. So with this whole new experience, it completely changes the game for everything.
And that's a massive problem they have for like trying to get the word out. Like we were talking earlier about the Wii, right? The Wii, when that came out, they straight up had like sets in malls for people to come over and play it. And the cool thing about PlayStation VR is like a lot of people already own a PS4. Oculus and Vive, they're like really expensive. So unless you've got somebody, unless you have a friend who like spends a lot of money on games like we do, you're not going to be able to get that experience.
Yeah.
PlayStation VR, I mean, it's still $400 entry level, but it's easier for people to get to, and hopefully that'll spread the word.
You know, you talk about like what Nintendo had to go through to kind of break down the barrier of this is a Wii, this is a Wii U, this is how it's different, and this was why you need it in your house, right? I don't think there is that with VR. It's pretty simple. Like you put this thing on and you're in a world, right?
Yeah.
And I think pretty much everybody pretty much understands that because this has been talked about for decades. I mean, you go back to the Virtual Boy, right? People know that you put something on, you're supposed to be immersed by something. Yes, I know, Virtual Boy. Come on now.
Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, The Matrix. Like, it's existed in sci-fi for decades.
You can go to Disney World and go to the Carousel of Progress, and there's a little boy playing games with a VR headset on.
Really?
That was done in 1955.
Wow. Always new.
Yeah, it's crazy. This has always been the next thing. Yeah, it's crazy. All right,
you can see you tell because he's floating like this.
All right, your poll answer, VR is
50 games out this year on PlayStation. Also, maybe a porn app.
Oh no, the porn is coming.
That will help.
The porn is coming.
The porn app will help. I mean, 50 games coming out in 2016. That's what you need is if you're going to spend $400 on something, you need to have enough games out there to like make it worthwhile. And also porn.
My thing, okay, not to speak on that, but you can with the Vive just use your desktop.
Right.
With the headset on and make things full screen with headphones on. Do with that information what you will. I mean,
you've heard about that.
I've heard. I think I read it on Reddit somewhere.
Yeah,
there's so much information
those
out there.
Redditors.
Yeah,
those
guys. Cheeky guys.
They're always doing crazy things. It's nuts. My response is VR is simply just bleh.
Oh, right.
Like not that I think VR is. That's me throwing up, by the way.
But what are you throwing up? Is that a
I don't know. It kind of looks like a cloud, but it's just supposed to be a bunch of vomit.
Flying nimbus.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It's just I'm not a good drawer when I'm trying to host a show. So.
But when you're not.
No, I'm
right.
freaking Mozart or Mozart. Not Michelangelo.
Making music that looks
wow.
cool.
It's crazy, man. It's just lines and I see numbers and stuff. But yeah, for me, VR, like I said, I played it quite a few times. Every VR experience to me has got me nauseous in some way, shape, or form. I'm not a motion sickness kind of guy. Like when I'm up in a building, some people are really weird about that. I am afraid of heights, but just being so immersed in that thing while not physically being able to touch it, to me that kind of sets me off in a weird way.
Yeah.
At most, I can do maybe 30 minutes before I really start feeling it, right? So I think that for me is going to be a big barrier. And I think VR is something that I'm skeptical of, mainly because I think for me, gaming is something that when you sit down, you play a game, you are playing the game, you're checking your phone, you're looking at a guide, you're doing whatever. People just don't stare at their screen anymore.
Right.
There's second screen, third screen things that are happening. And I guess technically you could have those second and third screens inside your headset with you, but then that takes away from the immersiveness. Yeah. Right.
And that's what I think is cool about it, because to that point, like you are fully immersed, so you can't check your phone, you can't check this guide, like you're in the game, and I feel like that's something that we've definitely strewn away from with the guides and all that extra stuff. So I think that the cool experience is that VR is not taking over gaming, it's just another aspect of it. So you can do that, and then you can take the headset off and then play a game with your controller and the TV. So it's a cool option for people that do have the means to get it, or they have like a Vive party or PlayStation party. But like you said, you get motion sick. I think 3/4 of the fun with VR is watching other people play VR like in person, because it's hysterical and like there's not a dull moment, and you feel like you're in the game because they're playing it and they're freaking out and screaming. It's fun all around, because sometimes it's not fun to watch people play console games, you know?
Yeah.
But VR, totally different.
So as somebody who owns one, right, and you like make the time to play VR games, there's some games, right, that I need to like say, okay, I've got 3 hours free, like The Witcher, right? I can't sit down and play The Witcher for 20 minutes. I need to be like, okay, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So with VR games, do you find that you are like waiting until no one's in the house, or waiting until no one, delivery person's going to come? Or is there like this sort of anticipation to play it, or are you just popping it on?
I'm just popping it on right now because a lot of the games that are on Steam, they're good. Some of them lengthy games. There's a game where you're playing pool and you can play multiplayer, and like legit there's a microphone on your computer. Like I didn't know I was getting into multiplayer, and a headset legit pops up like in the bar next to me. He's like, ready to play? And I'm like, what? So you really feel like there's another person there.
That's
but
so
if there's a delivery guy coming, like I literally played with like one headphone off, So I don't know. I feel like eventually there will be games that are like that, where you need to be fully immersed for a long period of time. But right now, I feel like the games are so geared towards making sure people understand how to use virtual reality that's not so much of an issue right now.
That's the one thing I think I don't think with VR you're going to see like the 15 to 20 hour story epics, because I feel, just for me personally,
Fallout though.
Right.
Yeah, sure, but Fallout is also a game that you can sit down and play for 15 or 20 minutes, 30 minutes, then set it back down, right?
Yeah.
Because it's your adventure, you can do what you want.
Fair.
But I don't think you'll be able to do that because people won't be able to have that long extended play period.
Will we? Like that's
like
Fallout.
Will we adapt? I don't know.
Yeah, like Fallout is a game that whenever I sit down and play it, I tend to be like 3 hours later. And it's also a game that when you're playing it on the screen, it's so immersive that you do feel like, I'm back in my living room in Oakland. Okay, like I feel like I actually went somewhere. So, I mean, it's just this weird frontier where I don't know. Like, will I play VR in Fallout and spend that same time? Will that still feel like 3 hours? Because that's the other thing I keep hearing is that like spending 20 minutes in VR kind of feels like closer to an hour.
Time goes away completely.
It's trippy.
Because there's no clock in there. If you're playing by yourself with the headset on, like, it's like you're in a casino in Vegas.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
you walk
that's
out in the daylight.
Yeah. Like, can you wait until DraftKings or insert casino offshore betting happens here, and you can watch it in real time, bet over here, people will be so, oh my goodness, that just
you're pulling levers. But that's the thing that I think, so the first time I tried it out, my brain told me video games are going to be the smallest aspect of this.
Right.
Once they get the technology exactly how they want it, there's going to be doctors teaching people how to do surgeries with this. You're going to be able to test drive cars. There's an IKEA game where you can like lay shelving.
Sounds awesome.
You could eventually set up a room and then buy it in IKEA. Like video games are going to be the smallest aspect, especially when people get used to it.
Imagine being able to like get the IKEA sofa and be like, all right, how does it look?
Yeah.
And be like, wrong shade.
Yeah, because there's a camera like on the front of it. So like if you take a picture of your room, I'll put this furniture here, put it there. Like, well, this looks nice. Click buy on your PayPal, and then they bring a couch to you tomorrow. Like,
did you ever, any of you guys use the Oculus Touch demo?
No.
So that's the one that they show where, I think they've only ever shown it to certain press, but it's the one where you have the two Oculus controllers, and you're basically kind of like the pool thing, you're talking to somebody else and throwing things and all these objects. And it was really weird, because I did this demo last year at Gamescom, and I was playing with this guy, we were like throwing things at each other and catching it and all this, and while we were doing it, we kept high-fiving each other. And then after the demo, I was talking to Palmer Luckey, and this guy walks over, and he was like, oh, I'm the guy you were playing with. He was in like 2 rooms over, and he went to high-five, and I high-fived him without thinking about it, and I was like, oh, we've never actually high-fived before.
Yeah.
That was all like fake digital land.
Yeah.
And I thought, man, like my nieces live in Ireland, I only get to see them twice a year. I thought, man, that felt like play. Like I want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to like socialize that way. So to your point, like maybe that's the new Skype. Maybe games is just this little part of it.
Well, I have a buddy who develops for the Vive, and the way he described it was with Oculus, gaming is going to be like 20% of what they do, and 80%, whereas with the Vive, it's like 80% and 20% social.
Got it.
Flip that. And obviously, PlayStation VR, it's PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
So, all right, so let's talk about our excitement level for these things, right?
Okay.
For the actual games. We can rank them however you want to rank them.
Okay.
Give me 1, 10, 1,000, mashed potatoes, spaghetti, whatever you want.
You like that mashed potatoes now?
Dude, I love mashed potatoes.
Because I'm
I love me mashed potatoes, man. I'm from Texas. We eat mashed potatoes. All right, let's talk about Batman VR. You are Batman for the first time. You are looking through Batman's eyes. You are seeing it. You are seeing the Joker right in your face. You are in Arkham. You are surrounded by it. How amazing is that? Danny, you are ready? What?
I'm not a Batman.
Really?
I'm not a Batman fan. I don't care.
Really?
It's like the Spider-Man thing. I just don't like. I love the Arkham games. They're cool.
They're great, right?
But I don't want to be Batman because do I have to speak like this the whole time as well?
You do.
Okay.
That's the rule. Yeah.
Okay, then 8.
8 out of 10. Just saying like that. Xavier? Well, oh man.
Yeah.
Wow. So you'd rather play Superman? That's coming next.
Of course. Do I want to fly in virtual reality? Yes. Or Spider-Man. Batman's fantastic, but he's more like a Buzz Lightyear, like falling with style kind of thing going on. And I'm with you. I don't want to talk like this.
Have you played that game? There is a VR game with the hooks, where you're like hooking onto things.
I haven't played. I saw it. I saw it.
Good. So that's like Spider-Man.
Line of Commando?
Spider-Man.
Line of Commando? Is it? That'd be
But
great.
it's one where you're swinging and So Spider-Man made me think, that'd be good.
Oh, where's our
What's
wipes?
your ranking?
Mine. I didn't do mine yet. My ranking with Batman VR is a scowl out of 10. Just
Scowl.
Yeah, it's good. All right.
Can we be Alfred in the game?
Just second player, right? I think.
Boom, second player Alfred.
Yeah,
What?
dude. Can you imagine? What if there was a VR game where you just played as the assistant the entire time?
Dude, I would love
Bruce
that.
Wayne. Yeah.
I would love that because Alfred's the man. In the newest one, Batman Superman, they're just like old drinking buddies. They're just two old hammered dudes the whole movie. I'm like, I can totally get behind Alfred with this.
All right, next game. Probably one of the most exciting announcements at Sony, Resident Evil 7.
Sorry,
yeah.
I'm really into Project Diva.
Oh, you
Sorry.
can see it over there. It's okay.
It's like one of my favorite games on Vita. My bad. It's coming to PS4 too. Okay, sorry.
Oh shoot!
Did you see Hatsune Miku live?
Let's see if you're as excited for Resident Evil 7 as you are for that. Did you see the demo for that?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
What did you? I guess we'll find out. Because I played it. I was really immersed by it. It made me want to pee my pants a little bit, and by a little bit I mean a lot. I was terrified. I'm a giant weenie when it comes to those games, and I'm probably going to start a Let's Play channel just because that game exists. So,
Okay.
Amaze. Lots of new ways.
Undies.
Oh,
Undies. I'm gonna mess my pants playing the game. It's very scary.
just
I got terrified playing the first Resident Evil with like the really good graphics. So with this, man, being in a world where things there's it on the screen. Like, I love watching horror movies, good, bad, whatever.
Yeah.
So being immersed in one like this, feeling you're in this old house, seeing all these things happen, man, no.
Dude.
No, it's too much, which I love it. I love. So yeah, absolutely gonna be incredible.
I cannot wait to see you play
Yes.
on the Sony VR on your channel, Up Up Down Down, which you can subscribe to right now on YouTube. All right, Danny, what about you? Resident
Jill
Evil 7.
Sandwich in VR.
Yes,
Man,
yes.
they're going back to Resident Evil 1. Like we talked about it earlier. Resi 6 was a bit of a nightmare. Resi 5 was like an action game. 4 was great, but it was a different type of horror.
Yeah.
Resi 1 is like this real, like immediate, like you're peeking around the corner type of horror, and I feel like I haven't had that in a long time in Resident Evil. So it's great. It's that whole PR line. It is both entirely new, but also like back to its roots. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited for it.
Cool. Let's move on. Next game. This is a game that was not expected to go VR, but a game that a lot of people have been anticipating. I'm talking about Final Fantasy 15 VR. Now, the trailer for this was pretty cool. I don't know any of the characters, but I saw the guy with the he turned around, gave the wink with a thumbs up with the VR helmet on. That was pretty exciting. Xavier, are you a big Final Fantasy guy?
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
What was your favorite Final Fantasy?
7 is by far like probably greatest game of all time to me.
Really?
The materia system, the characters, the story, the plot, everything in that game is absolute perfection to me.
Dude, they didn't even talk about the remake.
Dude.
Oh,
Why?
Yeah.
Why? They brought it up last year. I was waiting for the remake also going to be in VR. So this is going to make me cry tears of joy.
Tears of joy.
Because I love Final Fantasy 7. I'm a very avid player of Final Fantasy 14. Still, now and forever. I love playing online and everything. So it's going to be amazing. Because I played the demo, and it's so good.
Right.
And it's very different, and it's more of the active battle system, like a Kingdom Hearts style of deal. So to be able to do that in virtual reality, again, to swing the swords, to press buttons and do magic, you feel like you're in it. It's like you're LARPing in your living room.
Have you ever LARPed before?
I LARP for a living, actually. If I want to get technical.
That's true. Danny, what about you, man? PlayStation VR.
So there's this whole thing with VR, right, where they're going to be doing a lot of just side DLC. It's just like, it's a VR experience tacked on. And I'm kind of coming around to the idea that that's okay. Like, if every game just does this little package, like we know this thing's going to be free when you buy the game, it's going to maybe come out after, he said like a couple of months, I was interviewing the guys yesterday, said a couple of months afterwards, we'll get it up there. And you know what, if you're going to spend $500 on this and every major release just even does that little tiny thing, like, okay, let's make that happen for every game. I mean, Resident Evil is amazing because you can play the whole game, but I think that's cool. I think it's a nice tip of the hat so that every gamer, regardless of what series they like, feels like they're involved in VR in some way.
Let's go to the last game on my list of this specific. Well, I got 2 more games. Let's talk about Minecraft VR.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Right, and the friendly updates. The friendly update that they made with realms and texture packs and it being cross-platform and stuff. Mainly VR though. Does Minecraft VR get you guys excited? Being immersed in a world of Legos essentially and being able to build as you see fit?
I'm real bad at Minecraft.
How can you be bad at Minecraft?
Horribly bad. Because the whole premise, like, I don't know, I feel, and might be way too long of an answer, as generations come after certain generations, I feel like their imagination grows like exponentially. So I feel like our generation, we had like DuckTales and SWAT Cats and all these sweet cartoons. Our imagination is blowing people out of the water. But then this next generation of kids comes with Minecraft and like they're like, we have no objective. We can do whatever we want. And I feel like for us, I want to know, like when I hit 50 coins, I get an extra life. When I do this stage, I unlock this sword. Like with their generation, they can just do whatever and they love it. And so for me, it's not the best game for me because I'm just bad at building things and making a house and I get killed by the zombies and stuff. But I think for those kids and those people that do play Minecraft, it's absolutely unreal because now they've gone from building these worlds and on keyboard, on controller, however they've seen fit. Now they can be in the world that they've made and they can interact with people in that world that they've made. And it's almost like what's the game, Second Life?
Right,
almost like a Second Life experience, but in a Minecraft setting. So I think it'll be really cool for everybody that loves those games.
Cool. Danny?
What actually reminded me of was Austin talking about the IKEA thing again, because like what I loved doing in Minecraft was building out houses, and I'd be like, I'm gonna change that, and then like, I learned how to make glass. Now I have to tear down everything and make glass. But the reality of playing Minecraft now is that like I turned 30 a couple of months ago, and whenever I play online, I feel like it's me and thousands of younger people who are better at the game than me. So
you're the old guy just kind of standing at the playground looking at them play, going, they look
look like they're having fun and they're better at this than I am. The best thing I ever made in Minecraft was I made a huge Christ the Redeemer that got vomited lava. And this was about 4 years ago. And since then, Minecraft has like exploded in the much lower sort of age range. So I kind of feel like it's awesome they're doing this, but it's for them and I hope they have a blast with it.
Yeah. We're gonna have a whole generation of like carpenters and architects.
Right.
But I'm nervous about all of the new age architecture or architecture. What's the word for that? Architecturers. Just all the buildings are just square and very pixelated.
Have you seen that commercial? It's like a car commercial where everyone's square in it. It's kind of Minecraft. It's like, well, that's kind of weird.
Real life.
All right, let's go move on to our final game. The one that I'm most excited about, I don't know about you guys, because this is pretty cool.
All right.
I'm talking about Star Wars Battlefront VR.
Oh, yes.
The idea of getting in your X-Wing, flying it around, shooting at everything that moves, and being able to look in any direction. We've seen games like, what's that? Something Eve. There's a VR game.
Eve Valkyrie?
Yeah, Eve Valkyrie. Where you're flying around, but you're not in an X-Wing. You're not in a Y-Wing, right?
Elite Dangerous is another kind of one.
Yeah.
Lots of that.
And admittedly, I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. I know that's sacrilegious. I'm not a huge Star Wars guy, but you know what? That excites me. Just the idea of getting and being a part of that.
Yes.
You know, it's pretty cool.
Question:
So,
I missed the stuff on that. Is there going to be a single-player campaign now?
well, they just said it's happening. They didn't say anything.
Okay.
Right? The long and short of it is, you get in your X-wing, Y-wing, whatever it is, right? You fly around. You're in dog fights, right? And you can think about maybe you go down to the trenches or something. I don't know. That's got to be something that they do.
I'm in. If you can play as Lando.
Yeah.
He's by far the greatest character in Star Wars universe.
Suave and sexy, man.
Lando Calrissian. If I can play as Lando, you got me.
play as Lando. I mean, come on, you can be whoever you want when you're VR, right?
Oh, true.
That's
true.
right.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Sometimes I look down at my hands.
Yeah.
Those hands don't look like my hands.
They'll put
I
gloves
get real
on.
curious. Yeah.
That's what they'll
Put
do.
on gloves. Make it not too specific.
Gloves
and
is
I'll
going to
be
be the way they get over, like, it'll be like the sort of representation in games like Asterix. It'll just work for everything, you know?
It's you. It's fine. Your skin's covered.
All right, Danny, what about you, man? Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes! X-Wing, like X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, all these games I grew up playing with. Like, I love Battlefront was fun. It was kind of simple. Like, it was sort of a very, I don't know, accessible version of that. And that's cool, because, like, you know, games should be accessible for a lot of people. But I feel like, you know, if there was one game that could definitely do with a remake, that virtual reality would bring it to that next level, because like those games felt so immersive in a way that, you know, we forget now that we have all these 3D worlds that, like, they were doing some crazy math to try and make it look like it was 3D back then, you know?
You know what they need to do with Star Wars? They need to remake Star Wars Arcade, the one where you have the joystick.
I was just going to say that.
Make that 3D.
It's so good.
Dude, that would be
so
amazing.
good.
Just totally remake that.
There is a game where you train blocking lasers with your lightsaber.
Right.
Yes.
On Vive. So, like, if they just bring that over here a little bit more, and then we'll be okay.
Pod Racer. Bring back Pod Racer.
Pod Racer,
Yeah.
dude, that'd be so good. Oh my gosh, there's so much you can do with the Star Wars universe, and you know what they're going to do it. You know they're going to do it.
And then it could give you tiny hands.
Yes.
You know you're that kid.
As you grow, your hands get hairier and hairier. That
awesome.
brings up a good point. All right, we have to finish, don't we?
Yeah, well, we got a couple
so
seconds.
if they took older games and revamped them for VR,
Oh, yeah.
like, I don't know if you guys ever played Gunstar Heroes.
Of course.
Okay,
Nice.
Gunstar Heroes in VR, Kid Chameleon, River City Ransom.
Kid Chameleon was built around being in
Right,
VR. yes.
exactly.
Road Rash.
Dude, it'd be so awesome. Just take these new games or old games and just redo them in VR. I'm totally in.
Hey, do you guys want to start a VR development company and make Motorcycle Fight?
I'm
and just
so
totally-
in. Only if we can. What was it? Mutant League. All
Yeah.
the sports games.
Yeah, Mutant League Football. You know they're making a new one?
What?
Yes, they're making a new
How
movie.
did I not know this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
You need to go Google it. It's great
Okay.
stuff.
Imagine
All right.
worms in VR. You're like a little worm.
Oh, it's crazy.
We could talk forever.
Missing
We could.
grenades,
This is
yeah.
exciting stuff. Well, dude, Xavier Woods, a.k.a. Austin Green.
Yeah. YouTube channel up down down. Go subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah.
We're over here now. We're over here.
Yeah.
We're over-
Oh,
we're
check
there.
it. Boom. That TV's that one. But yeah. Subscribe up down down.
You're
Look it
gonna
up.
check it out.
Keep
All right,
it
that's a
safe.
little VR. Thanks so much for joining us. Danny's with us all day. Coming up next, we're going to be getting into a little Killer Instinct. We have the developers here. We're going to be talking about the brand new character, the Gears of War character coming in. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll be back in just a few minutes. What you guys? Oh, hold on. Keep watching. There you go. All right, we'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Here at coming live
Yeah,
from the
got your
GameSpot
back.
E3
Appreciate
co-op
you.
stage here at E3 2016.